Welcome to Ringside Riffs by Andres Cortes. Now, we all know Summerslam has to be the biggest event this year, and they're not lying to us. Let's look at the lineup. Let's look at the presentation. Doesn't this feel like a WrestleMania? Already things are high at stake, and every storyline in this episode has been growing and growing, and we see how Raw, SmackDown, NXT, everything is getting ready for the summertime, for their summer kickoff, and it's only one weekend away. We're here to see the biggest matches, the biggest threats, and the biggest cycles in the game as we got to see what unfolded on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and all those rumors around the WWE. So let's take a quicker dive into what's going to happen and what we think is going to especially see. Now, I've seen the post, I've seen the comments, and I've seen the Reddit pages, and we all believe that the biggest news for SummerSlam are definitely going to be the title changes. How many title changes do you have on your radar? We start with Gunther against Damian Priest. We know and we have for a fact everybody's saying that Damian Priest is going to lose that title. Cody Rhodes against Solo Sikoa. Okay, Cody Rhodes keeps that title. Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan. How about that, huh? Is that a curveball to you? Will you actually expect Rhea Ripley to not win? Will there be some type of complications? And what about those other championships like those mid-carders? LA Knight versus Logan Paul, yeah? And the Intercontinental Champion, is Braun Breaker gonna get his? Because all these things are happening at SummerSlam. Now, if you haven't been paying close attention, that only means one thing. They're treating this because they're gonna make it super packed so that it has to be double nights from here on out. This is not an excuse. This is not a rumor mill. This is not anything else. This is the truth. This is the reason why they want to take your money. They want to take your dollar bills and they want to spend it and create more events. But it's going to be worth it. Let me tell you why it's going to be worth it. It's the storylines that keep on giving. And if we never seen this type of storylines going to the WWE as we've seen so far, I mean, if you paid up to attention with what happened with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio, we're looking at a 10 novella, a 10 out of 10, a 3-year drama and reenactment of anything that we've ever seen. And it is a classical case of what has here to happen because the writers at the WWE right now are smoking some good stuff and they're doing the best they can to create what we see on these TV ads. I mean, we have the Wyatt family coming after us, coming after our hearts and our sacredness, and we're getting scared by seeing the Wyatt Six show up and appear and leave those DVDs or whatever you call them because they're not DVDs. There's subliminal messages left all over for us WWE fans, for us wanting to see more, for us blockbuster fans reminiscing about those days of video cassettes and rewinding the tape with our fingers and our fans. But if you don't know anything about that, I don't blame you because the Wyatt Six is just scaring the bejesus out of everybody for us to believe, hey, it's not even time for us to believe. It's time for us to believe in Joe Henry, the superpower, the Superman that's gonna come save us all, that's gonna come save us all and make us famous and make us regret of our sins because he is here and he has the power. But if anything, we keep our eyes attached to NXT, to Raw, to SmackDown, and to the upcoming SummerSlam because of the things that are carrying out. I mean, CM Punk against Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre is on his way back, and Seth Rollins is on his way back, and we have CM Punk being the main focus of this rivalry in this Heat trio. And we're all blaming ourselves and thinking of ourselves, what is happening and how can we all state it? Because it is a pivotal point. The SummerSlam has to be a big show, has to be the grandest stage of them all, has to be something next to be spectacular for all of us to remember, for all of us to be in part enraged in everything what we have. Because even the Judgment Day is getting in on it. Even the Judgment Day is seeing its storyline grow and develop into more of what is happening outside with Liv Morgan, outside of Rhea Ripley. It's happening with Damian Priest, it's happening with Finn Balor, it's happening with every single person out there of the Judgment Day, and it's happening with every single storyline. I mean, pay close attention to every single presentation that they've been giving us over the past few weeks, and in not the payoff is grateful. We are thankful for what we are seeing, and we are blaming for what we are establishing right now. The title changes, yes, they might all change titles. We are seeing storylines that are going to continue not only to impact us in SummerSlam, but to continue to WrestleMania. And we're not only seeing the formation and deformation of teams, but the strategies of how it comes. Now, what have been your opinions about Raw? Yes, Raw has been carried on by great messages, but what is happening to Cody Rhodes and why is he having to carry on SmackDown so much? Why does he have to be doing so much for SmackDown and for everything else when we have great storylines presented to us on Raw? I mean, I'm more looking forward to Raw right now than I am SmackDown, and it's only because of the storylines that Raw has played out to us. And I understand Raw is the longer show. Raw does deserve the longer storylines, but what is happening in SmackDown in terms of carrying the weight right now? We are not seeing the U.S. title holder. We are only seeing the WWE holder, and he keeps on appearing in matches where he shouldn't even be poking his nose in. If I'm honest, he doesn't have a real contender because we all have a fact feeling that he's going to lose to Solo Sikoa. So the most interesting thing right now in wrestling is a telenovela where we're seeing Dominic Mysterio reject Liv Morgan to keep Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley lick to face. And we all understand one thing: is Dominic Mysterio not in trouble? Is this not going to affect SummerSlam? Is this an actual heartbreak, or is she just continuing to manipulate everybody in the Judgment Day? Is this actually what people are seeing in the subreddit line? Finn Balor's and Liv Morgan's plan. Now we know that the New Day, they're taking some time off and they're just leaving Xavier Woods with what he has right now, but he's taking on the Otis crew. He's taking on a push to make them more popular, and we know that Adam Pearce is doing his job correctly because they are making the moves, but that is the way that I push and present what is happening in the way of SmackDown. We have the same people in the routine with so much things in like, and we only see one thing in common. It is that we need to continue to pay closer attention to Raw these weeks as we continue to see. Because why have they made it so much popular? It's because they're going to sci-fi. Yeah, after being on the US network so long, they have now decided to go to sci-fi, and it is now a change where you need to keep clicking, and they have given up on SmackDown temporarily because they are dedicating for the more views and more ratings on the Raw. So what we see and what we're getting right now is the hypest and the best storylines going into SummerSlam. So thank you for watching.